What is going on, guys? Jason Burke here, Styles Clash for Life, coming at you on YouTube, and today I've got some football focus. I am talking playoffs this week. Usually I just either do the power rankings, which I haven't done for a few weeks, or I do the Steeler game reviews, which I will still be doing this coming Sunday or Monday, one of those days, because the Steelers do play this Sunday against the Dolphins at 1:05 p.m. But I wanted to bring you guys my playoff predictions. I wanted to give you guys one video for each conference and kind of predict each game in the AFC and the NFC and see who I think is going to wind up being in the Super Bowl this year and who's going to wind up winning it. So I have my conference breakdown here. Today I'm doing the AFC, so I'm going to bring you guys my AFC predictions, predicting each game of each round and who I think will be the AFC's representative for the Super Bowl this year. And either tomorrow or Thursday, I'll be doing the NFC upload. So check back for the NFC. I know most of you guys watching are Steeler fans, and you're really curious to where the Steelers are going to land here in the playoffs this year. So I wanted to do the AFC first for you guys. So this weekend coming up, we have two AFC playoff games. We have the Texans versus the Raiders, and we have the Steelers versus the Dolphins. So overall in this conference, just for an overview basically, this conference has been the Patriots conference the entire season, pretty much for Brady's entire career. It's pretty much been Brady versus the world. And so the question is, with the Patriots being the clear number one seed, having home field advantage throughout the playoffs, the question now becomes, can anybody pull the upset? I mean, it seems like the Patriots are the clear favorite, as they should be, with home field advantage in Brady and Belichick. The question now is, can anybody unseat these guys in the AFC and make it more unpredictable? So, of course, you have a couple of other favorites in the AFC. The Chiefs are the number 2 seed. They have had a really good, underrated season. They've come out really strong in the second half of this year. The defense has been really good. The pass rush has been great about getting after the quarterback. They've run the ball with their committee very, very well. They're hard to tackle. They've got Tyreek Hill on the outside as a playmaker. Travis Kelce as their ace receiver at tight end. Macklin is still a playmaker. These guys are one of the underdogs here that could really give the Patriots a run for their money. Also, you have, of course, the Pittsburgh Steelers. You guys know what their deal is. 6 wins in a row. You've heard me cover them here. Brown being the best, if not one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. Le'Veon being one of the best, if not the best running back in the NFL. Big Ben being a legend. The defense bending but not breaking. And finding their groove at the end of the season to win 7 games in a row, and get very hot here as one of the hottest teams in the NFL. That's another big contender against the Patriots. Also, you have the Dolphins, who kind of backed in to the playoffs, got their quarterback hurt. You have the Raiders, who started off hot and were one of the best teams in the league and should be one of the favorites, if not for the injury to Derek Carr. They've now limped in, losing several in a row, and have a third-string quarterback playing for them. And the Texans, who also have quarterback injuries and situations, winning a very weak AFC South division. So getting into the matchups here, first we got Texans versus Raiders. Texans are at home as the 4 seed. Raiders are the 6 seed. Raiders are the 5 seed. I'm sorry, 4 versus 5. Texans at home. I got to take the Texans in this one. It's a very sleepy game. It's a game of 2 backup quarterbacks. The Raiders now are on their 3rd-string quarterback. Matt McGloin got injured in the last game, replacing Derek Carr. So now they're on 3rd-string quarterback Connor Cook. It's really a shame because this team, the defense is underrated. The offense has got firepower with all those guys, with Rivera and Crabtree and Amari Cooper and just Seth Roberts. All those guys making plays. Latavius Murray. One of the most high-powered offenses in the NFL. This was their year to finally break through and be a big surprise team. And then Carr goes down, and now they're like totally lost and getting beat on defense and just have the momentum totally out of their hands. The Texans aren't much better, but they are much better on defense. They have a much better pass rush. They're going to get to the quarterback and cause the third string rookie quarterback a lot of trouble in Connor Cook. They're going to disrupt. And I think even with backup quarterback being in right now, they have issues at quarterback. They're not sure which one of the two is going to start. I don't think it really matters. At the end of the day, I think they just have a little more. DeAndre Hopkins is going to be enough for them to get in the end zone. Their tight end play has been pretty good all year. So with the Raiders being injured, I think they're just going to miss out and lose this year early on. Then we have the Steelers versus Dolphins. The Dolphins did beat the Steelers earlier in the year. But this is not the same Steeler team as it was back in week 7 or 6 or whatever it was. They've gotten the 7-game winning streak. They found their legs on offense. They might have Ladarius Green back. He's been injured again. But Sammy Coates is healthy, if that makes a difference. He hasn't been doing much anyway. But they have Brown and Bell. I trust Ben. Also on the Dolphins side, Ryan Tannehill's hurt, so they've got a journeyman quarterback in there. Can't remember his name right now. Didn't write it down. I know who the guy is, but I can't think of his name. Anyway, backup quarterback in there against the Steelers, against that pressure defense. Dolphins' defense isn't very good, and with a backup quarterback in there, the offense is not going to be as good as expected. The Steelers can load the box and stop Jay Ajayi from running. He shouldn't get 200 yards this time on us. So I think they're going to stack the box and stop Ajayi and make Matt Moore the quarterback. Matt Moore beat us, and I don't think that he will. So I'm taking the Steelers to advance here. That takes us into next week. The two matchups for the divisional round then would be the Texans versus the Patriots and the Steelers versus the Chiefs. Those are your final four in the AFC. Texans versus Patriots. Why even spend time talking about this one? It should be a blowout. I'm talking like 41-10 maybe. I think it's pretty much clearly going to be a Patriots domination here. Texans don't have enough defense in coverage to stop the Patriots from spreading the ball out. And obviously don't have enough on offense to compete with the Patriots' very underrated defense this year. So Patriots get the blowout win and go to the AFC title game. Who's going to join them, so you ask? The two other best teams in the AFC, Steelers and Chiefs, are facing off, and most people have the Chiefs actually beating the Steelers. Most analysts and journalists that I've read have the Chiefs winning this game, and I don't know. That's a very bold claim. The Steelers did romp the Chiefs back early in the season, 45-14, but much like the Steelers in the previous week, I'm giving the Chiefs credit because they are not the same team that the Steelers beat. They found their legs with their rushers. They're very hard to tackle with Ware and those guys in the backfield. Having a running back hard to tackle has been tough for the Steelers because the Steelers have had a hard time tackling. And their defense has given up very clutch touchdowns. Even last week against Cleveland, they had a fourth quarter touchdown. They were ahead against Baltimore when Baltimore scored late in the fourth, and Dallas scored and won late in the fourth on a touchdown. So giving up clutch touchdowns and big drives at the end of games has not favored Pittsburgh, and this game should be a lot closer than the 45-14 drubbing. So Alex Smith being a game manager, Kelsey is going to be a matchup nightmare for the Steelers because our linebackers are not that good in coverage. And Tyreek Hill being a speedster on special teams, which has not been a Steelers' strength all year on special teams. I think Tyreek Hill could make a difference with a touchdown in this game as well. With that being said, I'm not sure whether this is considered an upset or not, being a 2 seed against a 3 seed, but I am taking the Steelers. I know you're thinking homer pick here, but I am taking the Steelers. I think Alex Smith being a game manager versus Ben being a game winner. You take the quarterback that you trust more here. I think Ben still has too much offense. The Chiefs' D is very good, but the Steelers are one of the best offensive line units in the NFL, and they're coming in finally healthy. So knock on wood, as long as there are no injuries to their big splash players, I think the offensive line keeps the Chiefs' defensive rush at bay, and that's their strength. I think the Steelers get open in the secondary. I think guys like Rodgers, James or Green, either a tight end spot. I think Antonio Brown gets off. And I think Le'Veon Bell is going to be a guy that gives them matchup problems out of the backfield receiving the ball as well because their linebackers can't keep up with Le'Veon Bell. So I think the Steelers advance to face the Patriots in the AFC title game. And now the question becomes, who do I have going to the Super Bowl this year? The Patriots are the obvious fancy pick. They're everyone's pick. But I'm not one to go with the grain here. So I know you guys are going to think I'm a homer here, but I am taking the Steelers for the upset. This one should be a defensive battle early on. I don't think either offense, despite being dynamic and elite, is going to get off early. I think it's going to be similar to a Steelers-Ravens game. Lots of big third downs, lots of big hits. I think it's going to be a slow-moving game. And I think you're putting probably the two best playoff quarterbacks, Brady and Roethlisberger, against each other right now. And although the Patriots kind of have my head, the Steelers have my heart. So being objective as I can be, I think once again, the Patriots D, though being very underrated and solid this year, has no matchup that they can handle with Le'Veon Bell or Antonio Brown. I think those are the two best splash players on the field. And while I do think that guys like Edelman, guys like Hogan, guys like LeGarrette Blount are going to do a lot of good things against Pittsburgh, and they're going to put up some numbers because, again, Pittsburgh's coverage across the middle and their tackling are their weaknesses, which are the Patriots' strengths. But I think I think Pittsburgh's going to create some turnovers with Ryan Shazier, with Artie Burns. I think those guys are going to make some plays. Sean Davis is going to come at Brady, and the way to beat Brady is by hitting him and running exotic blitzes, which has become a strength of Pittsburgh over the last 5 games. The blitz, the pressure, and the getting in the backfield and making splash plays has been a strength of the Pittsburgh defense. So against my better judgment here, despite this one being able to go either way, this is the hardest game to call in the entire AFC playoffs for me, but I'm taking the Pittsburgh Steelers to be the AFC rep in the playoffs this year. So Steelers over Patriots in the AFC Championship game, and I think Pittsburgh is going to the Super Bowl this year. So what do you guys think? Did I predict these games correctly? Am I way off? Is Pittsburgh going to lose here in the first round, or are they going to get romped by KC? Am I going to look silly? We'll find out here. Is anyone going to challenge the Patriots? I don't know. Is any of these backup quarterbacks for the Dolphins, Texans, or Raiders going to actually make a splash and find a way to make a run based on defense in the playoffs? You guys tell me. Is my prediction of Pats over Texans, Steelers over Chiefs, and then Steelers over Pats? What do you guys think? Tell me in the comments down below how I did with the AFC. And are you guys looking forward to my NFC one in the next day or two? I'm posting it soon. So this has been the AFC Football Focus. NFC coming soon. I will talk to you guys soon. Go Steelers.